Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
Cabby gunned down in Grandspan. A man was shot and killed in Grandspan, St. Andrew on Tuesday morning. The deceased has been identified as 28-year-old taxi operator Tavardo Patterson, otherwise called Siobhan. The circumstances surrounding the incident are unclear at the moment, but it is understood that Patterson was involved in a confrontation with another man on Dunwich Drive sometime before midday when he was gunned down. Police were at the scene. Man chopped to death, woman injured, ex-boyfriend reportedly in custody. A man is dead and his girlfriend injured following a chopping incident in Dunbarton, St. Anne on Tuesday morning. Reports are that sometime after 8:15 a.m., the couple was in bed when they were attacked by a man, said to be an ex-boyfriend of the female, with a machete. The victims received several chop wounds to the upper body. They were taken to hospital where the man was pronounced dead and the female admitted. The suspect is now in police custody. Man hospitalized following St. James knife attack. A man in hospital in critical condition following a knife attack along Barnett Street in Montego Bay, St. James on Tuesday afternoon. One of his alleged attackers was taken into custody. The Barnett Street police reported that shortly after midday, the man was walking along a section of Barnett Street close to the Barnett Street police station when he was attacked and stabbed by 4 men. Cops who were in the area intervened and were forced to discharge several rounds from their service pistol to assist the wounded man. The police also managed to apprehend one of his attackers, while the others to escape in the vicinity of Willow Lane. The injured man was rushed to Conner Regional Hospital, where he was admitted in serious condition. No more scamming and Molly songs. The Broadcasting Commission has issued a directive requiring broadcasters to immediately stop airing any audio or video which promotes scamming, abuse of drugs, illegal or harmful use of guns, or any form of criminal activity. In a statement on Tuesday, the Commission said this includes live editing and original edits, example edits by producer or labels, as well as the use of near-sounding songs or words as substitute for offensive lyrics, expletives, or profanities. The Commission says the directive reinforces their commitment to keeping the airwave full from harm content given to the important role traditional media still plays as agents of socialization. The use of public airways to the broadcast songs that promote, glorify illegal activities could give the wrong impression that criminality is an acceptable feature of Jamaican culture and society. It could also unwittingly lend support to moral disengagement and further normalize criminality among vulnerable and impressible youth and the young adult demography, the release said. Exclusive Director of the Commission, Cardell Green, said this directive was the end product of a wide-ranging process that included focused monitoring, decoding the subculture dialect and urban slangs, deliberations on balancing free expressions, vis-a-vis protection from harm, and consultation with industry. Part of the difficulty in dealing with music, especially that which emerges from a subculture, is that it takes time to identify, understand, and verify the slangs and colloquial language used. He added, understandably, New Street lingual may have something before they are normal, or their meaning becomes well entrenched. The Commission also has to be circumspect in its action, knowing that regulatory attention can have the unintended consequence of giving exposure to and popularizing subcultural phenomena. Green noted that while content regulation must also have regard for the right to freedom of expression, any context in which criminality is presented through music or videos as normal behavior conflicts with the tenets of responsibility broadcasting. The Commission has also moved to assure the public that it will continue to exert all powers within its regulatory remit to protect the most vulnerable, children and impressible and unattached youth from harmful media content. Illegal guns seized in St. Andrew traffic stop, 3 men arrested. 3 men were apprehended following the seizure of a firearm and several rounds of ammunition on Grand Spence Avenue, St. Andrew on Monday. Reports from the Constant Spring Police are that about 12:15 p.m., lawmen were on patrol in the area when they signaled the driver of a Toyota Corolla Fielder motor car to stop. The driver complied and the vehicle and its occupants were searched. According to the police, a pistol along with 440 rounds of ammunition was seized. The occupants of the vehicle were arrested pending further investigation. Principal calls for a dedicated fund to combat violence in schools. President of the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, Linvern Wright, has called for a dedicated fund to provide much-needed resources to educators to combat crime and violence in schools. This follows news that some boys in grades 10 and 11 at an undisclosed corporate high school have formed gangs and are taking weapons to school. Mr. Wright said a different approach is needed to deal with these students involved in criminal activities. He argued that the country is burying our head in the sand in terms of the kind of children that schools have to deal with and is failing to take the situation seriously. The school principal suggested tough action be taken against those unruly students and that they be placed in institutions made specifically for them. He also insists that more money be spent on psychosocial and social support through the provision of a special fund. Mr. Wright does not believe that communities in which some schools are located contribute to the number of students involved in violence. When you take St. George's, a Wolmer's, a Kingston College versus a Denham Town, a Tivoli, a Hill Selassie, these are all schools that are on the border or in inner city areas. But it is the resources that the past students and other people have put into these schools and the vested interest that the parents have put into that which has made a difference, he argued. He suggested that the students from problematic schools do not get the same level of assistance and are usually from weak socioeconomic status and have low academic achievement. President of the National Association of Deans of Discipline, Samuel Smalling, agreed that schools will continue to experience incidents of crime and violence until administrators get adequate resources. He recommended that each school gets a walk-through metal detector at the gate so that once the alarm goes off, we know how to respond. Mr. Smalling also pointed to the issue of inadequate perimeter fencing, suggesting that this is lacking at some schools, which makes it difficult to control weapons and other items that may be brought onto the campus. He said this must be corrected as it threatened the safety and security of the staff and students. Mr. Smalling and Mr. Wright were both guests at the morning agenda on Pro 106. St. and Northeastern residents to have improved water supply. More than 10,000 residents of Exchange and surrounding communities in St. and Northeastern will have increased access to water supply following the completion of work on the Exchange White River Relief Station and replacement of the Upton tank. The facilities, which were upgraded by the National Water Commission (NWC) at a cost of $141 million, were recently commissioned into service by Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Senator Matis Samudo, in White River, Ocho Rios. The project will result in NWC customers in the area now receiving water approximately 22 hours per day. In his address, Samuda said that the upgraded facility will benefit residents of Exchange, Banham Spring, White River, parts of Eptom and Lodge. He added that the project reflects the commitment of the government boosting the efficiency and service reliance of the NWC. If we are to bring Vision 2030 to life, bringing portable water to the people of Jamaica is indeed a mandatory pillar of that strategy. With today's commissioning, we know that we are benefiting upwards of 10,000 persons and 2,500 NWC accounts in this area, he said. Samuda then encouraged residents to report unscrupulous individuals who are illegally obstructing water from NWC lines. The reality is, we cannot continue to do these upgrades if we do not have the orderly participation from citizens. If you see somebody accessing a water line illegally, they are putting the entire network at risk because 9 times out of 10, they are not plumbers or engineers, so you're risking your water from them to get free water, he said. Meanwhile, Regional Manager of NWC from St. Anne, St. Mary and Portland, Richard Williams, said that the upgraded system is in keeping with the strategic objective of the Commission to improve operational efficiency and growth revenue. Work on the relief station included the replacement of all electromechanical equipment, upgrade of power supply, and pumps from 124 HP to 200 HP, and the installation of new electronic self-starters. In addition, the 50,000-gallon steel Upton tank was replaced with a new 100,000-gallon reinforced glass inflow structure. The project also included the replacement of 3.6 kilometers of 4-inch PVC pipes, 0.2 kilometer of 5 mm PVC and GI pipes, the installation of 2 4-inch pressure-reducing valves in the Exchange community.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell